Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to jump on into a little weekly, like half hour ish of some card pulls that I'm going to do. If you guys would like a little card pull, I'll try to get to as many as I can. They're just little quick one card pull messages, little fictional storytellings. Just type E in the comment box, or excuse me, the chat, the live chat. Just so you know, this video will be removed as soon as I'm done with it. It'll only be visible in the members corner after that. Okay. I'm still discovered that makes things a lot less confusing. Also, just on other notes, I'll have to make a bigger announcement about this, but I've discovered some things that are going on, some glitches that are really impacting my channel, and it couldn't come at a worse time. But essentially, I'll probably mostly have to stop doing lives other than like this weekly one. You guys know historically I've always done lives. I love connecting with everybody. But as it turns out, they are now taking a hugely extended amount of time to process. You guys have seen this going on for a bit, but now it seems like it's so widespread. And because that is so detrimental to the channel, I may have to stop lives altogether, other than just like the one a week when we do this. So I don't know. I've been up all night trying to figure out and problem solve this. This is stuff I just kind of got some real confirmation on. So it's been kind of a bummer because I'm trying to figure out how to keep doing it the way I love to, but just know pretty much I'll be putting out more videos. Pretty much all my videos now will have to come out as videos, not as lives. So don't think it's because I don't want to hang out with you guys. That couldn't be further than the truth. It is a glitch that has so tremendously impacted the channel. So what happens is when I do a live stream and it takes a day or more to process, it means none of those views are counted. So for example, a video that you guys were hanging out with me and we had a really nice time and like more than 5,000 people watched, unfortunately only recorded was less than a fifth of that. So that in turn hurts the channel because it looks like nobody is engaging or wanting to be watching anything. So I'm behind the scenes. I'm just sorry to fill you guys in on this, but I just want you to know why live streams aren't going to be possible anymore, because I never want you guys to think that it's not because I don't want to be here, or that, for 5 years I've always done live streams. So this is like, it's hurting my heart. Anyway, with that in mind, we will move forward as we must. And if the glitch gets worked out at some point, I'll be able to go back and do it the way we've always done it for the last 5 years. If not, you guys will have to start looking for those the video tab instead of the live tab. And I know it's going to be a huge shift. So anyway, you guys, so sorry about all that, but I did want to let you all know so that I didn't disappear on you for no reason, or that I don't want to be in the lives, because that isn't true. All right, let's get into this. And I'm so honored you guys are here. Thank you, everybody. After this, I will be going over to Tarot Dog as well, and we'll be doing the same thing. So if I don't get to you in this round, just know I'll try to get you in the next round, okay? So probably be live here for about 30 minutes and then bounce over to the other one. So we're starting at 2:36. Yeah, so anyway, Hetty, here we go, love. All right, we do have the sun in the reverse. That is Leo energy. Leo energy is, it's powerful. It's usually that leadership vibe, but we do have possibly somebody that is looking at a situation, and instead of saying, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen, I'm going to move forward, this is how it's going to go, this is somebody saying, let me just wait until the sun pops out from behind a cloud. Let me first wait and see, what did this person mean when they said X, Y, or Z? What was said? What was intuited? What was the situation here? It doesn't mean there's anything negative. It just means that we may not have a direct moment of clarity yet. So this could be between two people. This could also be that our character is unaware that somebody is consulting with another person and trying to figure out like how to interact, or how to, what should I say? What should I say to him or her? Sometimes it's them that is struggling with, I need to figure this out. I need to get to a place of harmony. And it really does feel like two masculines could possibly be consulting with each other, trying to sort out, what should I do? What should I say? I was like, I don't know. Let me think about this. Someone's not moving forward. And we're just going to say it could be a masculine, could be a Leo masculine. He's not moving forward with any offer, any conversation, or any expression until he knows, what do I want to say? So that's the way I would look at that one. It's just, no matter even if the sun is in the reverse, it still is our best card in the whole deck. So it's actually really, really awesome any way we slice it. Tina, let me grab you one, sweetheart. Thank you so much, Tina. You are so generous, babe. So you actually just had 2 that popped out, so we got to keep them. We have a 10 of Cups. We have a 2 of Wands. Definitely have possibly a matriarchal kind of happiness coming up here. This could be a divine feminine who is like bringing her whole family around to celebrate something. This could also be a feminine who's about to have like something she set her sights on for a long time, but I keep thinking she wants to like share this with a group. I don't know if this is like, oh, I finally can take that trip to Hawaii, or let's have a family reunion, or if this is about love. And it's just like, I'm looking forward to like sharing really good news with my family. I've set my sights on something and it's finally really happening. But it does feel like I want to share that. I want to let other people know this good news. This all still looks like it's a little bit, coming up in the future. Like, we're getting to that place of completion and opportunity. Normally the 2 of Wands is I'm at a crossroads, but this one says crossroads, not so much. There's a direction I really want to go, which is straight ahead. I've set my sights on what I want. I'm hearing the hungry eyes from Dirty Dancing. Now I've got you in my sights with these hungry eyes. Love that song. I've been waiting to tell you. I got a feeling that won't subside. Okay, that definitely takes us into romance, doesn't it? But again, it's all still what's on the horizon, what's coming forward. I just feel like there's going to be a real good reason to celebrate and share good news. AC, hi, babe. AC, yours like instantly popped out. We got an Ace of Wands, big passion, big power, this huge sense of like the divine is protecting someone and inspiring somebody right now. It's about, here we go, let's move forward. Here we go, let's make this happen. That Ace of Wands is always a creative spark, or it's a spark of desire and passion. But when we put it with this light bulb with, angel wings on it, it's divine inspiration on either what I should do next, how I can get over this hurdle, a solution, or it's the divine inspiration of, oh, I can't wait to have this thing next to my life. I just found someone, or found the right answer, or found whatever it is that was like, there it is. That's the click. That's the moment where it's like, that's what I was waiting for. That's what I was looking for. This is rising right now in a character. So I kind of feel, and you notice how it's rising up over a mountain. I'm also picturing somebody who's like driving like over hills and vales or over a mountain. This could be somebody has an epiphany while they're doing something like that. Obviously keep our eyes and our mind focused on the road, but sometimes we take a walk or we take a drive and, we say, oh, it's to clear my head. And it doesn't mean we're not focused on the road, but somehow the subconscious mind is more like free to work through a puzzle, while our conscious mind is like focusing on the road in front of us. For me, my analogy to that is like, I like to paint. Like, give me a big wall to paint, but give me a house to paint. And my subconscious does lots of sifting through and finding answers. But I feel like this is an answer coming to a character, but it's definitely with the nudge from the divine. The divine's like, we got this answer for you. It's going to be all right. It's going to work out. You guys, thanks so much. Really good to see you. Puff Girl X, let me get you one. And welcome. You are now a member. That is courtesy of Tina. Oh my God, so sweet. Thank you again. Pop Girl X, we have got the 4 of Pentacles. And this is bread and beer, okay? So this is not the normal, like, 4 of Pentacles can be somebody holding back or holding on. It can be the Miser's card. Not this. This is fermentation, fomentation. This is stuff that is bubbling up to the surface, stuff that is becoming something like nutritious and valuable. Just because something has been held back for a while doesn't mean that was because it's not going to become ours, or it doesn't mean that this is not stacking up for us. This could be either someone has something very wonderful to gift or to offer to someone. It's a way bigger gift than what they assumed. This could be, the person who like misses our birthday, but then a month and a half later, they come to visit and they bring something that is like this amazing gift. Or maybe the gift is that they wanted to show up. They had to make it work so they could show up in our lives, and it's like, oh my God, this is so much more special. I can't believe that this was, slowly, just like, yeast is, fermenting and bubbling, and, bread rises. It keeps feeling like something wonderful has been slowly but surely rising, and it will eventually make its way into our character's life. And I think it's going to be very, we'll just say, nurturing. There's something positive that hasn't exactly been handed off to our character yet, but it's really nice and it's coming. It's just that it's slowly, we'll say, percolating. Let's put it in that context. Hi guys, so nice to see you, everybody. You guys are so lovely. Jeannie Vale, let me grab you one, hon. Jeannie, we just got two. We've got the Magician and we got the Seven of Cups. Magician upright is Virgo Gemini. That is the energy of, well, with the Magician being here, it's the energy of somebody who is a master manifester. We do have a masculine. The only thing is, I think we have a masculine who's quite certain, but it's like, I'm going to do something. I just have to figure out how to do it. The idea is here. The plan is here. Now the implementation is what he has to figure out. I don't know why, but I get like we could have a character who is planning. I don't know if it's going to be a surprise exactly. It's something that he clearly wants. But he's, to me, this is to his credit that he's spending more time figuring out what's the best way to approach. So let's say he wants to offer something lovely to someone. He's not just going to say, I want this, I'm going to swagger in and just, hey babe, give me some sugar. It's not that. It's not a Bruce Campbell line from a fun, cheesy horror flick. I think he's going to instead really contemplate what's the best time, the best place, what's the best way. He's planning something, basically. We have a masculine who's planning something. He's very excited to either give or offer or create, but he is thinking right now how best to go about this. So, I mean, what I would say is, give it some time and let this person find the way they choose to proceed. This kind of says, it might be nice to just sit back and let them figure it out and let them come forward when they're ready. But it does say somebody is preparing something in the background. Funny, because we're getting a lot of those little messages, aren't we? We're getting a lot of little, stuff in the background. But yeah, kind of awesome to see that anyway. You guys, oh my God, thank you so much, you guys. Hang on just a second. I don't want to miss anybody. I'm just scrolling through so I can keep track of everything here. You guys, welcome and thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Here we go. Gina E., let me grab you one right now. Hang on just a second. And I see so many of you I'll say thank you to and get a card for in just a minute. I'm just kind of like trying to stay on top of stuff and scroll through a little. Gina, Gena. And I'm sorry, I was calling you Gina E. It's just Gina. We have the Four of Pentacles and we have the Knight of Coins, Gina. That Four of Pentacles says, all right, we have somebody that has been kind of half and half. I kind of feel a little breadcrumby vibe from this. I don't know if it's just because this person doesn't have more to offer right now, or they're worried about overextending because, yikes, this could be somebody who would like to put, both of these could have to do with finances. This could be somebody who wants to, let's say, ask a person out on a date, but on the other hand, they're like, it's getting toward the end of the month, money's tight. I kind of want to wait till the next paycheck, or, it could be something along those lines where this doesn't feel breadcrumby to be rude, because this is somebody who has a sense of stability. Like anytime we see that Knight of Coins, he's our only knight that ever makes it to the castle. So he's very dedicated and he moves forward with intention, right? But it might take a while to get there. And he does have to be prudent about the decisions he makes and how swiftly he tries to push things forward. So I don't know. This feels like somebody who may appear to be doing really well financially, but maybe it's because they have to watch, mind their P's and Q's, mind their finances. That doesn't make them stingy so much as I want to do something, but I might still have to be careful. I feel like somebody's being careful with their money. And it is for good purpose. This isn't to be selfish. This is just somebody who's working on things, and it does take time to get our lives, smoothed out, worked out, ironed out. So I could understand why a character might take a little bit more time to be able to make an offer that they'd like to, or to go all in the way they'd like to. But it does say this is more about finances for a character that's trying to be real mindful, but they might come across a little bit, you know, selfish at times. Next up, here we go. Nani, hi babe. Let me grab you one. Nani, we have got the Page of Wands. Somebody really wants to heal things. Their biggest desire is to take a step forward toward healing things. Now, this could be somebody who already works in a medical profession. It could be somebody that has really like a wonderful sense of awareness of what the world is going through. They could be a great humanitarian. They are very sensitive. They are somebody who would want very much to make sure that they actually, give that care and that attention to others. But we also see them wanting to move forward. This is normally a spark of passion or inspiration. If this person already works in the medical industry, they could also be attracted to a character and they're like, I don't know, I keep thinking this is somebody's like identity. Like they either work in a medical profession or they have this really wonderful humanitarian aspect, but this is about them having a personal like desire or passion to move toward something or someone. It's just, this is a new thought for them. This is somebody who's just now kind of getting revved up. This actually feels like a little bit of lighthearted flirtation. I don't know. I'm picturing somebody like in a dentist's office doing a little flirtation or something. It's actually pretty awesome. Oh, Jeannieville, thank you, Angel. Thank you so much. Hang on just a second. I'm scrolling on down. You guys are so awesome. Thank you, everybody. Selene, let me grab you one right now, babe. Here we go. Selene, we have got the Empress. Beautiful. Libra Taurus energy. First off, somebody's houseplants might be rocking, or this could also be an indicator that somebody is growing things. Now, sometimes if we want to grow a particular something, once in a while, and again, I'm not suggesting a character is doing this, but Empresses tend to be very intuitive and very connected, especially to the earth. And the way in which they sometimes like gain more power and, come to decisions and figure out how to blossom and grow things in their life can be through like symbolic activities. So we could have an Empress who has written down something that she really wants and, tucked it someplace where she was going to plant something outside, or put it underneath a house plant. Just so symbolically, it's like, this is the idea that I want to have blossom and grow into my life. It feels like an Empress has a pretty solid idea of what she's going to have happen next. You see all the pearls of wisdom around her head. I would just say that whatever this feminine touches right now, she's got that magical fairy dust that makes things blossom and grow. So this might be a really great time for her to, invest in some of the things that projects she's wanted to, see blossom in her life, relationships she's been looking forward to, connecting to others in, because this says she may have a huge amount of, blossom and success coming up just because of who she is, just because of what she does, just because of the way she, her energy touches other things. But I do think it's time for her to like really focus on something that she wants and, project that growth forward, which is really nice to see. Next up, here we go. Wendy E. Hi, babe. Let me grab you one. Oh, so nice to see everybody. Here we go. Wendy. Thank you so much, Hetty. You're so sweet. Wendy, we have got the King of Swords upright. We got the Five of Wands upright. King of Swords is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Oh, this man is sitting here and he is tumbling and tumbling and tumbling around in his head. This is somebody who hasn't said word one yet, but he's thinking about things in a fair and balanced way. He's thinking about things from a perspective of, let me find answers here. He holds his falcon here. He hasn't released a message yet, but he is tumbling over and over and in his head. What am I going to say? How am I going to say this? What do I want to, anybody who's sitting here trying to figure this out, because he's a King of Swords, this is how he deals with nervousness. I'm thinking that this could be like emotions, and he's like, no, must take out the emotion and must find like logical ways to describe. And so, it's like, I got to go through this in my head. How am I going to get to a logical way to say something? He's uncomfortable, but not showing it. except through maybe his silence. But this actually looks really positive. I mean, maybe not for him. He might be a little bit uncomfortable right now, but the reason for silence is because he is giving something his full attention, and he is trying to sort out how to say something, where to take something, what conversation to have. But first, he's like trying to be cerebral about it and trying to get through nervousness and worriness. Worriness, is that a word? Ask Alicia. Here we go, babe. We've got a 5 of Cups. That 5 of Cups is, we actually have 2 versions of her. One version of her might be a little sad. The other version of her is considering looking out, across her own life, her own energy flow, considering the things that have been upsetting for her, considering the things that have been like maybe the old version of me, the younger version of me. I recognize the things that I didn't have. I recognize where there were some gaps. I recognize what I was hungry for. And it's almost like somebody who's saying, God, maybe the inner child version of me, I really had to kind of stand on my own 2 feet. I didn't realize that until now. I look back and I see that I was a scrappy little kiddo, or I was, pretty tough. And although I'm sad that I had to be, a scrappy little kiddo, there is some kind of, you notice the butterflies overhead? There is some kind of like transformative, even though there's a bit of sorrow in this, there's also this transformation beyond it. And it's like, but look at how I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. Look at who I am. I'm this elegant woman with all these flowers of garlands, around my head. I can think back to what I endured, but look at who I am today. This is a pretty empowered character who has really, I think, changed her life in incredible ways, just incredible ways. But it's interesting because she needed to maybe see that in her own self. Thank you so much. Gee, let me grab you one right now, sweetheart. I'm scrolling down. I know there's several of you I want to be able to say thank you to. Hang in there just a minute. We'll get there. We got Wheel of Fortune and Justice. Wheel of Fortune and Justice. We're rocking 2 major arcana. Big message. Libra, and then we also have some Aquarius, some Leo, some Scorpio, some Taurus possibly. So we got lots of zodiacs in this too. We are seeing this masculine with his kiddos going to the amusement park. Like, oh my God, finally things can be happy. But what I'm going to say is I'm hearing that song, Finally It's Happened to Me. And I just can't hide it. Finally, it's happened to me right in front of my face, and I just can't deny it. Finally. Sorry, that I can't even think of the rest of the lyrics other than it's, got kind of like a 90s techno beat, maybe. It's driving me nuts that I can't think who it is. It's one of those songs that it makes you want to exercise. It's an awesome track. It feels like, I don't know if we had a feminine, possibly a Libra feminine, who for the longest time didn't meet anybody that they thought was like a really great guy or gal. Someone, they always say, if you're going to decide how much you trust somebody, ask yourself, like, would you trust this person to water your plants if you were out of town for a weekend? Okay, if the answer is yes, okay, so you kind of trust them. Would you trust them to take care of a puppy if you were out of town? Okay, that's a huge level. And if you can't say yes to that, then it might be like, whoa, that's not the person I want to make babies with if I wouldn't trust them with a puppy. A plant is, there's a little bit more leeway with a plant, but a puppy, no. And so I'm thinking she's realizing I finally met somebody or seen somebody, and I'm like, there are good ones out there. Or I just met a good one. It's about damn time that she meets a really good one. It just says this seems to be something she's realizing, oh, there are some great people on this planet. And it's nice. It's about time for her to see this. I don't know if this is somebody that she might end up with, or if it's just giving her hope that there are really wonderful people out there. But there's somebody she would trust a puppy to. That's the best way I could say that. Danae Mountain Dreamer. Thank you, Angel. That is so sweet. Thank you, babe. Let me grab you one. Actually, Danae, you just had 2 pop out. If that happens, I have to keep them, even though I'm aiming for 1 card. We've got 8 of Wands, and we got the 4 of Coins. 8 of Wands is somebody wants to talk, but then it's like, then they don't know what to say. This could be somebody who like walks up to a character, hi, and then they walk away again, or they never get out the words that they need to say. It's bubbling up. There's all kinds of things they want to say, but I think this person struggles with real expression. Now, that could be maddening, or if we understand that about a person, maybe the fact that they are present at all shows a lot about them. Maybe this is a supreme introvert. This could be somebody who's trying to ask somebody out and they just can't seem to find the words, even though they kind of mull around a little, or they show up, in the friends circle, and it's like, I really have never talked to them, yet they show up, so they must want to be here, but they're just shy. This kind of looks like somebody who has a lot to say and maybe a lot of good things about them, but we might have to give them a little bit more attention to draw them out just a smidge. Sometimes the people who have the most to say are the ones least likely to convey it, unless we do take a little bit of extra time and sit down and, maybe slowly but surely get comfortable with someone and have them get comfortable with us. But it kind of feels like there's a lot of unspoken words here, and nice words, like important things that would be worth spending the time to hear or, talk to this person about. So kind of nice, but it could take a little while to crack the keg, so to speak, to get a chance to talk to this person and hear what they have to say. Hang on just a second, guys. I'm trying to keep track of everything so I don't miss anybody. Thank you so much, you guys. So incredibly kind. Okay, just a second. I've got to take... let me do this. And I'm so worried that... So the chat jumps, and at some point it won't let me go back any further. So I'm going to list this off right now. And if you have just gifted me something and I am not calling out your name, please tell me again, because the chat has moved too far for me to backtrack and I don't want to miss you. Okay, so what I see is Monkey Puzzle Tree. I will get to you next, babe. Hi, everyone. Humanity is a virtue. Is a virtue. Hang on. Elisa. Hang on just a second. Dwanette, thank you so much. Dwanette Raven. Chrissy, thank you, babe. Chrissy, hang on. Chrissy just gifted 5 memberships as well. Let me just mention to you guys, if your name just popped up in green, that is courtesy of Chrissy with those 5 memberships she just gifted to Mariska, Rhapsody in Blue, Sarah, Wendy E, and Chills Tax. You guys are all now members courtesy of Chrissy, okay? Be yourself again. So good to see you. Be yourself again. And then hang on just a second. Thank you, Angel. Hi, Alicia Parsons. And in just a second, I'm going to relist the names here that I will be doing card pulls for still before. And I think this is probably going to close me out on this one. And then we're going to get over to Tarot Dog. Yeah, it'll definitely close me out on this one. Okay, so you guys, let me go ahead and just list off the ones. Oh, thank you so much. Humility is a virtue, you angel. Oh my God, thank you. You just gifted 5 more memberships. You guys are so amazing. Thank you a million times over. I cannot get over how kind you are. Rhapsody in Blue, thank you so much. Hang on. Rhapsody in Blue. Okay, so let me just go back and say humility is a virtue. You just gifted Just One Spark. It's Pouring Rain. Harsharan Sawe. Anna Paula Oliveira. You guys are all now members, and Perfectly Imperfect Podcast. You guys are all members. And that is, oh my God, you guys are so amazing. That is courtesy of Humility is a Virtue. Okay, so let me just, and RaMoore, excuse me, I missed you there too. RaMoore. Okay, so on this channel right now, and I can't add any more on this channel because I have to go over to Tarot Dog right after this. But what I'm going to still get to right now is Monkey Puzzle Tree, Humanity is a Virtue, Elisa, Dwanette, Chrissy, Be Yourself Again, Alicia Parson, San Juanita, Rhapsody in Blue, and RaMoore. All right, I'm going to get to those ones right now, so I won't add any more on this channel. I'm going to go ahead and just write down that this chat is closed, okay? This chat is closed now. And that is simply because as soon as we're done with that list I just said, I'm going to bounce over to Tarot Dog and we'll be live over there doing the same thing. So I'm sorry, I know there's never enough time for me to get to everybody. We do this right now every week, all the way up until January. So there will be lots more opportunities. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much. And thank you a million times. If you gifted me something in this channel and I didn't see it because the chat moved down, please do mention it to me though. Still in this one, I don't want to miss you. I never mean for that to happen. It's just the chat moves super, super fast right now. So please do let me know if I missed somebody right there. Okay. All right, here we go. Monkey Puzzle Tree. Here we are, my love. Thank you again so much, honey. We've got the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We've got an impulsive action that somebody has almost taken. Like somebody has typed in a person's phone number and then deleted it. They've even maybe let it ring once and then deleted it. They didn't, you see, they swallow their sword and yet I'm going to do it. No. Oh, no. I'm going to do no. It feels like somebody goes back and forth. At some point, that impulsivity will probably make them just blurt it out. It may not come out super perfect, super right, but it's something that'll probably be from the heart. I don't get a bad vibe on this. It doesn't look like it's rude. It doesn't look like it's a problem. It looks like this is not a situation that a character is going to like say something unkind. It just looks like there's nervousness attached to it. But that impulse will eventually like override everything and they will probably spit it out. It's just a matter of when. After a few false starts, it'll probably just come out and be blurted. I mean, it could be our lead character doing that as well. Farida, first off, I'm so sorry, babe, but this is closed now. And then also I don't take any comments or questions. I don't do that. So I can't do any more on this channel right now, babe. You guys, this is one problem that I've been experiencing is I want to be able to thank people, but I can't possibly keep adding ones on. So what I'm going to have to do right now, even though this can foul things up, I'm going to have to shut off the comments. And the only way I can do that is by making it so that it goes beyond the lifespan of my channel. So I have to turn it off to where I'll set it for like 16 years because I haven't had a channel for 16 years so that people can't continue to comment. Please don't let that confuse anybody. And if when I do this, if it makes everything go wonky and you think I disappear, you might have to pop out of the video and back in. I experienced this once before. This is a problem that I don't really know how to get around when I'm trying to close the chat unless I do that, but then it can create a confusion for everybody who's in the chat. So let me just end this right now. Farida, I'm still going to honor this and I will pull a card for you, but just know it will not be for the topic you asked for because I don't take questions. Okay, babe? And just so you guys know, this is how I'm ending up. I'm going to turn off the chat in just a second here, but humanity is a virtue. M. Eliza, Dwanette Raven, Chrissy, Be Yourself Again, Alicia Parson, San Juanita, Rhapsody in Blue, RaMoore, and Farida. Okay. And right now I have to turn this chat off. Okay, guys, please don't think I'm being rude. It's just, I'll never get over to Tarot Dog and get a chance to do that there unless I close it at some point. So, all right, you guys, thank you. Thank you so much, guys. You're so unbelievably kind. So, but let me go ahead and just edit that chat real quick. Okay. And again, it's not to be rude. It's to hopefully change it so that it's not confusing for everyone. Okay. So I have to go ahead and set a custom time. And I know this is still going to be confusing and probably somebody will still get really mad at me, but I never mean to be rude in any way. I just try really hard to keep it as clear as I can, but I don't always get it right, do I? All right. Okay. Need more right now. See me on Tarot Dog. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to go ahead and put that little message in the chat. Okay. So here we go. Let's wrap this up with humanity is a virtue. And thank you again, babe. Thank you, everybody. You are so lovely, you guys. we have a Nine of Cups. Humanity is a virtue. That Nine of Cups says we have got somebody that is in this incredible energy of self-satisfaction. I feel like somebody's having the nap of their life too, a power nap that's going to like change the way they view the world when they wake back up. That Nine of Cups is amazing energy. It's about like being restored, being reflective, feeling like, you know, there's a lot of good things in my life that I'm able to count up right now. Now, this could also represent somebody has come to a conclusion. She's wearing blue and there's blue wallpaper behind her, which has much to do with the color. Blue is the color of wisdom. And so I'm wondering if somebody has actually reached a point where, because they've been wise, because they've made good choices, they have seen the results of their, you know, the fruits of their labor, and it's actually making them feel really like self-satisfied, really happy. There's a profound sense of satisfaction. I don't know if somebody has a comfy chair and they're like, man, did I ever decorate my feng shui perfectly in my house? Because she does sit next to this plant also, which makes me think there's prosperity for her. There's some kind of like, she can see into her future a bit and say, I see things growing. I see with wisdom, I have cultivated good choices in my life. I've even bought good furniture. And I can see I'm content right now with what I'm starting to develop, and I can see how it will continue to unfold. Look, the next card would be the 10 of Cups, right? So we have somebody who could be single right now, but like really taking stock of how much they love their life. What comes next is a 10 is always a full culmination, and that could be partnership, that could be long-lasting love story, but we see her in a really good place right now. But I will still say, because of the color blue so heavily invested here, that is why. It's because she's made good, wise decisions. So very beautiful. All right, next up, Emelisa. Here we go, babe. Thank you so much, Emelisa. We have got the Man of Wands, which is the King of Wands in any other deck. And he's over here like trying to flag somebody down, or he's doing a dance with his Sally Rand fans. He's fanning the flames. This is Year of the Snake, and we have the serpent right there. Something big is happening before the end of the year. And this could be somebody that a character thought like, oh, they're out of my life. I'll never see them again. Oh God, what's that song? Is it Michael Jackson? She's out of my life. She's out of my life. Yeah, I think it's MJ. This is him saying, I am so ready. I am so ready to actually revive something. Okay, so I'm picturing somebody doing CPR, but not on a person, on like a component of their life, like they're bringing something back to life, or they think that they can make somebody fall in love with them again. They can make somebody warm up to them again. And I think he's really determined to do this before the year is out. This is a year where maybe he's gone through a big transformation. It feels unexpected. Anytime we see somebody standing in a graveyard, but they are well alive and they are flagging us down, they got something to say, and it's heartfelt. This feels really good. It really does. It feels like, and this could be a friend. It doesn't have to be a lover, but it definitely says, hey, wait, this is still yours. Hey, wait, don't leave this behind. Hey, wait, don't stop now. This is still here for you. Oh my God, humility is a virtue. You are so incredibly generous. Thank you, babe. You are so kind. Thank you, love. And thank you again, Emelisa. Next up, Dwanette Raven. Here we go, babe. Dwanette Raven. We have got a 3 of Swords. That 3 of Swords in this particular card has a little different twist to it for me. I know it looks really gnarly, right? It's front and center. There's this huge heart hovering, but it's here by the ocean, which can be the reminder that emotions come and go. And also there's a sense of cleanse from that salt water. But then we have like Zeus himself is getting involved up here, crackling the sky with energy. It almost feels, because I always look at like lightning as two things, either a message like from the gods, or God, it doesn't matter, put an S on it or not, but also like neurons in the brain. And to understand where something happened, where a problem came from, that's front and center, which to me, anytime we can look at something and say, okay, this sucked, but here's why it sucked. Here's where that problem came from. Now that I understand it, I can wash it clean. This doesn't have to be something that I have to put up with. I can actually let the tides take this one away. So it feels like somebody is going to be healing from something that could have been a profoundly painful experience. But I don't think that pain is lasting much longer. This says there's new illumination. There's new thoughts coming through. And also, I don't know, Zeus, when he throws his thunderbolts, Zeus tends to like eviscerate things with his thunderbolts. So if he's like throwing a bolt down, it's to get rid of the pain, the heartbreak. This kind of feels like somebody's got some pretty powerful friends around them. And whatever our character has gone through, I feel like there's going to be kind of like I don't know. I keep wanting to think of like a saltwater bath or something that like refreshes stuff and cleanses and soothes. And it just kind of feels like our character is going to understand something much, much differently. There is a lot of electricity and conductivity in this as well. By the way, be careful of, don't have water splashed out on your countertop and you're plugging in your toaster. There's a couple of like warnings about electricity and water here. But when we put it together like this, it says, no, this kind of powerful energy and this kind of soothing energy combined is actually a good thing in this case, but not if we're talking about our outlets on our kitchen counter or our bathrooms or something. So there is be mindful of this, because there's a lot of energy here, but it can be shifted. Like we could get really more angry if we think about a heartbreak, or we could actually say, this is something I refuse to deal with. The ocean can have it. I'm leaving this mess behind me. I'm letting this one go. I allow the tides to take it right on out of my life. I don't need to remember this anymore. Zeus says so. Zeus says, let this one go. That's the way I would look at this. So this could have been something that, I don't know, I get this vibe that something was really unfair and our character has to just let go of the feeling of unfairness, not because it wasn't fair, not because it's being made right exactly, but because our character deserves better. And it just, that's the way I would look at that. Our character's letting it go for that reason. Chrissy, here we go, love. Thank you so much for being here, Chrissy. Thank you for everything. We ended up with two of them. We have the Emperor and we have the Two of Cups. Holy smokes, we got a love story here, don't we? We have got this amazing, empowered Emperor who knows exactly what he wants. Now, he's the one in like the romance seat right now. I have a vibe that this person is thinking back, though, because he's in this darkened room and he kind of looks like, oh God, what was the Dos Equis, or Dos or Tres Equis? I can't remember. That it was an alcohol commercial, right? And it was like this very suave, debonair, masculine who kind of sat in it like a chair, and it was very like masculine and powerful. That's kind of how he comes across. But at the same time, I feel like in his mind, he is the one realizing there has been a very special relationship that he knows that was the one of his life. So he could be reminiscing, or he could be coming to the conclusion right now, this is the one. There is definitely something about it's playing out in his head, and he is aware of this. This is possibly the single most important connection of his life. And it's just like that reality is landing, smack dab on him right now. I know that's the most important relationship of my life, undoubtedly. It's actually really awesome to see because he's so clear on this. It's very powerful. There's definitely like a loving energy here. What will he do next? An Emperor does exactly what an Emperor would need to, which is, I want that in my life. I'm going to go get that in my life. I'm going to treat that person well. I'm going to treat that relationship well. This is the thing that matters to me. There's no question about that. So we have an Emperor thinking through it and knowing exactly where his heart is and knowing exactly how important a relationship is to him, which is really nice to see the confidence there. Be yourself again. Here we go. Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry, that person might look fantastic in red. Be yourself again. Here we go, babe. Welcome and thank you for being here, sweetie. We have got the Spirit of Swords, which is the Queen of Swords, but this is a Queen of Swords who's getting more downloads from her subconscious in like the dream state or the astral travel realm. Normally, Queen of Swords is very cerebral, thinks about stuff, in the forefront of her mind, but this is a night card. This is somebody, we're seeing them sleeping in bed, which, by the way, I don't know if somebody got new sheets. I'm actually feeling something like softer or comfier or cozier right now. This is not troubled sleep like, oh my God, I'm tossing, turning, I'm miserable. This is almost somebody who's getting like really great deep sleep. And the messages that are coming through, or the places that our character is traveling to in their dream state, seems to have something to do with their guides encouraging them. This is, the blanket is white. And so that makes me think that this is really positive, very like cleansing, very pure, but it's like a moment of clarity. I think, because I get a good vibe off of this card. I feel like we have possibly a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, somebody who's normally very cerebral, very logical, who is having a sense of interesting well-being. And they're not sure where it's coming from, but I think it's coming from their subconscious and their guides telling them, things are going to work out better than you think. You sense it, you feel it. There's possibly somebody at a distance also who is sending good vibes. Now, this could be a loved one on the other side of a rainbow bridge. That could be how our character connects to, someone who's on the other side. Or this could be a lover at a distance. But there's this interesting, like nice little warm glow that I'm having in this that says, no, there's a niceness here. There's something sweet. There's something like nudging this character to say, don't worry, you got something good going on here. And it deep down. At least that's the way that comes across to me for this fictional character. Very beautiful, but it does feel like somebody's trying to send that message in. A lover at a distance, somebody who cares about our character from a distance, or, a person from the other side of the rainbow bridge. But it's so nice and it's so soothing. This is more of an emotion than words to describe this. So I'm not sure that I did justice to that at all, but it's just very sweet. Alicia Parson, hi, sweetheart, and thank you so much, hon. Thanks for being here. Sorry to keep you waiting a minute. Oh, we have a 7 of Swords. Okay. This is a tough one because this little toad, I'm sorry, he always bugs me because he's smiling with this little Cheshire grin, and he's stolen everybody's swords while they were here at the circus having a good time. You see the big circus tent over here, and it's like a good time, and he's out here going, ha, 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 ha. He's more mischievous. That's why I call him a little toad, because he's more mischievous than evil or bad. But this is somebody who kind of has, like, they think they're smarter than everybody else in the room. And on one hand, mischievous people can be hilarious, right? Our pranksters, our jokesters, the people who tell little white lies, the people who plan other things and, whatever, like make it so our battery cables are off our car so it won't drive to delay us because there's a surprise birthday party for us. They can be the people who make that happen. They're like, I don't care, I'll lie. They don't always have to be bad. This card, like I say, it almost feels more playful, which is unusual for a 7 of Swords. Normally 7 of Swords is like, ooh, watch out, this person's a liar, liar, pants on fire. But his little Cheshire grin can either be like exasperating and it's like, oh my God, this is mischief for no good reason. Or this is somebody who is, like Puck, he's somebody who plays little games. He mixes the pot. He stirs the pot. This could be an office gossip. This could be somebody who likes to, like, drop something into a group and then step back and just be like, oh, let's see how these people, fight over what I just said. It could be something a little mean-spirited because he has this grin, but I don't actually think he's bad, if that makes sense. It just says mischief could be afoot, or let's put it this way, to be a little more lighthearted about somebody who's mischievous, even if we still call them out for it. Oh, you little toad, what did you do now? But it doesn't feel mean, if that makes any sense. It just feels like I think the message is sometimes, yes, people do lie, and sometimes that is who they are. We need to remember who we're dealing with, but that doesn't mean that they're evil and terrible, and it might behoove us to take a slightly more lighthearted approach and be like, what did you do? What did you do? It just comes across a little bit less stressful if we can take it in that energy flow. I know that still is like giving them some huge pass, but once in a while, mischievous people bring a little bit of levity or goofiness in to something, and it's not really intended to be wicked or evil. But it could be annoying. It admittedly, like I said, he's my little toad, so that doesn't make me sound very nice, does it? But it just doesn't seem evil. All right, next up, Samanita. Here we go. Thanks for waiting. Thanks for your patience. Samanita, here we go. 6 of Swords. We do have the, mummy's tomb there behind us. There are things from our character's past that they have most definitely like sealed up. And thank goodness, because they've already weighed and measured things. We have like Anubis down here, and Anubis is the Egyptian god that helps like weigh and measure things and decide what crosses over into the next chapter of life and what doesn't. And I think our character has been wise enough to say, there's a lot of stuff from my past that I'm going to seal up because it doesn't have a place in my future. Old memories, old people, old situations that were, maybe painful to me. I don't deal with those anymore. I sealed them up. I already dealt with them at the time. Now I move forward. So I'm all done. I wash my hands of certain things so I can move on happier and lighter and brighter. I definitely think there's one thing in particular that was bigger than the others that they had to seal off and, prevent from popping back up into their minds. But this character is so freaking brilliant. They know what those things are. And they said, I don't have to deal with this anymore. That will my life be better if I kept thinking about it or dealing with it? If the answer is no, then they're like, that's why I can go in that box that I tape shut and put someplace else in my memory bank. It doesn't need to be front and center, clogging up my day-to-day thoughts. Kind of a brilliant character, and I think one who's about to have a much better quality of life. Rhapsody in Blue. By the way, I love your name. Thank you so much. Sorry to keep you waiting. Really great to see you. Guys, anybody who's just tuning in, just know this chat is already closed because right after this, I'm going to bounce over to Tarot Dog and we're going to go live there, but I have to be able to get to Tarot Dog. And so that's why I had to close down here. I expected to just be here for 30 minutes. We've already been on for 50 minutes instead. So I always go a little bit over and that's why I'm like, I got to stop somewhere. So I'll see you guys. I have 3 more to do here, and then I'll see you on Tarot Dog, okay? Back to you, Rhapsody in Blue. Sorry, I just looked up and saw there's more people, I think, in the chat than I expected. We have a 7 of Swords upright, and we have a 10 of Coins. This 7 of Swords, Rhapsody in Blue, it is somebody who's been doing a little bit of lying. It is somebody who's been wearing some masks, but that's getting harder to do. It's fallen off. What it looks like to me is somebody's been lying about how much be back in the fold or how much they would like to be maybe, oh dear. Okay, are we good again? Oh, my goodness. Hang on, I'm going to do a little reset on this to make sure that you guys can see and hear me. I'm so sorry. Rhapsody in Blue, I realized it just told me that there was a wobbliness with the internet there, and I wanted to make sure that you didn't miss anything. So I did a little reset on my side. And sometimes that'll bounce you out as well. So I apologize if that happened to you. In fact, Rhapsody in Blue, let me jot this down so I can timestamp it for you also. And I will leave the video up now that we just had that blip happen. Okay, so what I was saying is it feels as if we have somebody who has been lying, not necessarily in a bad way, but lying about how very much they want to be either back in the fold or back in a 10 of Pentacles life. This is somebody who could have been hiding how much they love someone. Could be somebody who has been hiding how much they miss being with someone as well. That energy of like the distance, the space apart, the time and energy that they haven't been able to be interacting with somebody. They might have been trying to pretend that they were okay without it, all the while simultaneously trying to manifest, weaseling their way back in. This is somebody who is like a magician. So we see them trying to get things to like go their way, but they just haven't been on the up and up about it. So this could be somebody who is trying to insinuate themselves into somebody's life, hoping they'll get an invitation in. This could be somebody who has been wishing they could be, invited back in, but they haven't been upfront about it yet. The masks are falling off, so it could be that this can't continue the way they've been doing it. But I don't see it as somebody who was already in the fold who then was a liar. I see this as somebody who is pretending that they don't want this desperately when they actually do. That's the way I would look at this. And they could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius wanting to get closer to Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. I don't think this is just about career stuff, though. I think this is about family related, even love related. With that Pentacle card, I could have just gone career path, but that's not what it makes me think of. Nellie, you angel. Thank you so much, Nellie. So generous. All right, RaMoore, I'm also going to timestamp yours just in case there's anything funky going on with the internet right now. RaMoore, thank you for waiting. Hang on, I'm going to get you one more. Okay. We have a two. My hands were already shuffling, so I was like, well, I must be doing this. Oh, guys, I can't take on anymore. That's why the chat is closed. I'm so sorry, Maria. I can't, honey. I can't do anymore. I've already closed the chat. So sorry. I have to go over to Tarot Dog after this. What I can do is I will put you over on Tarot Dog, okay? But please, please, please don't anybody else do that because I got to keep it fair over there on Tarot Dog too. Maria, thank you, Angel. That is so sweet of you. And Nellie, I got you at the beginning of this. I hope you were there for it, babe. Thank you a million times over. You guys are so generous, and I never want to miss my chance to say thank you. All right, I apologize. RaMoore, here's what we've got: a 3 of Wands and a 2 of Cups. That 3 of Wands is looking into the future. The 2 of Cups has this incredible, very meaningful connection or romance or relationship on the horizon. We have, I keep wanting to say that, like, by somebody's next birthday, they are not going to be single any longer. By whomever next birthday this is, they will be in a connection that could be the happiest of a lifetime. And it either is that they have already met someone and things are starting to go well, and there's like this blossoming. There's a lot of flowers here. There's a lot of, I don't know if somebody loves a lighthouse, or actually, even though we see a lighthouse, which makes me think more of the lighthouses I've seen in the United States on, West Coast and East Coast, I have to say this actually makes me think more of Sicily. So I don't know if there's a vacation coming up for someone's next birthday and they're really looking forward to it, but it feels like they're going to be either falling in love on that vacation or taking it with a really important romance. I just see this is a character who's like next life chapter is the life chapter that they live out. It's like the next 50 years of their life is going to be spent in this wonderful love story. And this doesn't matter if this character is already 60. They got a big, long life of shared happiness that's coming up for them. We're like on this new, I would say, highway for this character's life to travel. And it's the best chapter of their life that's coming. Oh, that's a beautiful one. All right. And last but not least, Farida, here we go, babe. Let me grab you one. Thank you for waiting. Like I said, I'm sorry, but I don't take any questions. So I just let whatever card pops out is what pops out. That's always the way I do it because I can't predict your future. I'm not a psychic. I'm a storyteller. So that's why I do it that way. But thank you so much, sweetheart. And I'm really appreciative of you and thankful that you're here. We have a 7 of Cups. We have a character who has so many different options in life that they could take. But the one question is, if they're having to play a lot of different roles in life, and of course, we all play different roles in life, but if they're having to play a lot of different roles in life, it could actually be blurring what they want most. Now, she does carry one particular mask here, but the ones that she has to wear, I could picture this somebody who works like 4 different jobs. And it's like, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. And none of it is exactly what my biggest wish is right now. Sometimes what we have to do to make ends meet, the jobs we have to work, the scramble we have to do, or the hustle, doesn't allow us to necessarily focus on the thing that we would most love our life to blossom into. But you notice we've got this like chain of roses here floating in front of her. And it almost to me makes me think that we have her, everything that she has to do. She's learning little components of the stuff that she likes, that is shaping her, that is also appealing to some facet of her character, and kind of checking stuff off of her bucket list of the stuff that she wants. And then she'll turn all of her attention to the pathway that she most desires in her life. So let's say if right now she has to be so consumed with work that she doesn't have time for a relationship, it's like, yeah, but there were some personal like growth moments through the workplace that she wanted to check off of her list. I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that, just so I can say I did those things for me. And then I'll be ready for that long-term romance. This feels more to me like the collection or menagerie of options in our life. And sometimes we want all the options. So then it becomes not which path am I going to pick, but in which order will I pick my path? And we have the one that she really wants, but it feels like she's only just now about to give attention to that. So she hasn't had like a fabulous, consistent relationship yet. I would say it's only because in truth, she had other things that she was also giving a ton of time to that was important for her to accomplish as well. So we're kind of seeing her gravitate more toward what she's going to be wanting next. But it just takes a little while to get there. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you, everybody. I absolutely adore you guys. Thank you for dealing with me, hanging with me. I will see you guys in just a minute or two over on Tarot Dog. I'm going to tank up on some more Wawa, and then I'll see you guys in just a minute. You guys are so lovely. Thank you, everybody. All right. Take care. Bye for right now.